thanks guys. I got good news and bad news for you. The good news is you get to spend the next 3 minutes with me. Me. The bad news is you'll never ever get those 3 minutes back in your life. So, just seeing whether I can clear the house or no, we got true believers. That's great. I'm actually an immigrant. I had a green card for 40 years from Germany, and that's like not anything when you look like this, right? Because they're like, you're responsible for the election. You did that. Like I'm, you know. My wife was. I'm like as much of an immigrant as like you guys are strangers at like like McDonald's. Like the guy in front of you at Walgreens. I mean, that's how much of an immigrant. That didn't work, but. My wife was a poll worker. She was very concerned. She was went to the polling place to volunteer, and so I had to support this, and the elections are kind of new to me. So I went over there to check it out. She's a poll worker. No brass polls, no lap dances. The lights were on. That's good. So that's great, but I started dating again recently. It's not a thing at this age that is weird. No, I didn't. Been married for 24 years. And that doesn't mean anything. I just let time pass. I didn't do anything. I got up for like 19 out of 20 years out of bed. 20 out of 20 years I probably went potty, you know. We got familiar with each other's odors under the blanket, that kind of thing. But, you know, like when you're first dating, you're like, it's real exciting. When you're first dating, you're like, your priorities are sex, brunch, other stuff, right? And then 6 months, a year down the road, you're like, I'm sort of familiar with this person now. So you're like, yeah, great, but brunch, sex, other stuff, right? 20 years down the road, you're like getting up in this house, and you're like, you get up in this, nobody knows where anybody is, everybody's doing their own stuff, and then all of a sudden you hear something like, did you get the potato chips? What? Did you get the laundry out of the dryer? What? The milk is out. Okay. And then you go back to bed. Right? And that's it. Well, my wife's great. She got one of those DNA tests. She wanted to be Irish, 100% Irish. And, dyed her hair red. This is true. Because she thought Irish people were real popular. They do this thing called St. Patrick's Day. It's great. If you ever heard of it. And then the test comes back, and she's like a mutt of whatever, European something. And then she's like, well, why don't you do it? And you take the test. I'll figure out what you are. And I'm like, I don't need to know. Nothing with my family has anything to do with what happened in the early mid to 20th century at all, and so I don't need to know. But my test comes back, and it's like 60% Neanderthal. You know, I can say that all day long because it's not a race. 30% a-hole, racist, idiot, gym teacher, something, and you're like 10% super gay leatherman. Thanks guys, I cutting it short tonight, but that's all you get. There's more. And finally, a mark for